Hello.
My hair,
Oh, yes.
I have my hair down, so, or actually, as it goes up. Like to be down, it goes up.
It
So
goes up. Yep.
for the month of April, I just got a haircut. And they didn't cut that much off because my hair is actually
Wow.
shoulder length. It's like shoulder length slash collarbone length, but it's
Mhm.
only 2 inches long. So but I'm giving because I always pull it back, so I'm just
Mhm.
giving my hair like around my crown, like just like some time to like get curly again because like all that stretch just makes the curls just straight.
Yeah.
So
It
yeah.
looks great.
So I'm wearing like my little wool cap. How are you?
Doing good. Yeah, I'm excited to hear you had a exciting weekend, I think, with your race, right?
Yeah, so this weekend we went to Ithaca for the Ithaca Inlet Duels, or I think it was called the Ithaca Inlet Invitational, I think was the official name. But the way it's set up there is that you know how they row like kind of in the little canal area then out.
Hmm.
So there's 3 lanes, but lane one is actually like the travel lane. So at the end of the morning they had like a race where there were 3 boats in the lanes, like because there wouldn't be anybody traveling up. And then at the end of the day they did that again. So they did like I think it was fours in the morning and then another set of fours in the afternoon. But it was mostly like eights and let's see who was there. Williams, William Smith, because I learned that those are 2 different things.
Yep.
uh Ithaca, of course us, so U of R, RIT.
And I think that looks, I'm looking at the results. Looks like that might be it for the women, and then for the men, I think I saw Marietta was there.
Oh yeah, yep. Or was it Marietta or yeah, Marietta. So yeah, it was fun. The kids did well, or the athletes, I gotta say that the athletes did really well. Historically, like U of R hasn't won against Ithaca all that much, and usually there's some decent distance between them. So the 2V actually beat them,
I
which
saw that.
yeah,
Yeah.
and the 1 became very close. Like they were within like a couple seconds. So yeah, so the athletes were very excited. It was a good day. We had a little snafu with the bus.
Mhm.
So the bus was supposed to come at like 5:45, 6 o'clock, and then it didn't show up. So then it didn't arrive until almost 7:30. So
My God.
yeah.
Oh,
But
jeez.
yeah, what was good was we were at the stadium, so they had like kind of like a meeting room, and they were able to like eat breakfast. Like they didn't have to eat breakfast on the bus, which was nice.
Mhm.
They got to kind of sit, and some people went back to sleep, just kind of curled up in a spot and went back to sleep until the bus showed up. So that was good. And then it was like a 2 hour ride down to Ithaca. And once we got there, it was pretty much we had to get right off the bus, and the 1V had to like basically like get out of their warm-ups and go row. So,
Mhm.
but it was good. The weather was nice. Like I had my like I got some swag, so I have like a U of R polo and like a quarter zip. Um, I could wear the quarter zip like most of the day.
Mhm.
Every once in a while, it got kind of cooler, got a little breezy, and I'd want to put like my winter coat back on. But it was relatively warm. It was sunny, kind of on and off. Like at the end of the day, I was like, "Ooh, I wish I had." I had brought my sunglasses, but I forgot my sunblock, so that kind of sucked. So, um, but yeah, it was a good day of racing, and the Ithaca Boathouse is a nice place to be. It's a nice spot, and they had a really great live feed too.
Mhm.
So I guess
Yay.
it's like a media, I don't know if it's like media studies or communications or sports studies or whatever. So it was really cool, way more advanced than our live feed. They had drones and like it was neat because they had like a little drone like landing pad that was
Mhm.
kind of cornered off and like had like a little spot for the drones to drop down. They had some people on a bike with like a camera and and like a person who was commentating, and then they had like a reporter kind of walking around, and then they had the camera too. So it was really really neat. They did a very very nice job. So yeah, it was fun, and it kind of brought back memories of when we
Hmm.
would go there, and the infamous Kelly Papke stealing the Yale uni that happened there. So I think Cornell was, I don't know who they were competing against in the morning. Like they raced first thing,
Okay,
and I forget who they were scrimmaging.
take a look.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people, I forget who their scrimmage was against. It
Yeah.
wasn't Yale. Um, but a college of similar caliber, I would assume, because they're in that Ivy League. So,
Yeah.
uh,
Looks like Harvard, Penn, Harvard and Penn. Yep.
yep. So, yeah. So it was really good. Um, and the athletes were very efficient. You know, college is so different than high school, like as far as like the trailer and managing all those things. Like I don't have to micromanage that at all. I did almost get hit in the face with a bow ball. I was on the dock and like sending off a boat. So like I was going down to each person just saying, "Oh, good luck, good luck, good luck." And like I tapped the stroke person on the shoulder and I looked up and I saw the boat and like literally it was like one of these, like
Oh,
it went right by my face. And I was luckily, I mean, because if it actually hit me, like I probably was close enough to the water, I would have gone in the water.
oh, jeez.
So that was yeah, so that was some interesting stuff, but pardon me. Other than that, everything went really well.
Good.
And we got there and got back and then did family stuff for Easter. So
Nice.
yeah.
So, are you enjoying this life of a college coach,
Ooh.
or is it still definitely just temporary?
I don't know. It's
I
definitely
know you're on the record. Sorry.
yeah, I'm on the record right now. So but I'll be honest. Like
Hmm.
I think it's good to kind of, you know, talk through like the advantages and disadvantages. Like the advantages is like I'm done coaching for the morning, so that's great. Coaching happens very early, which is a double-edged sword that I'm kind of figuring out now. Like it's good because it keeps me organized. By the end of the day, I realize, okay, I'm gonna be up at either 4:45 or 5. Like if we're on the water, I do 4:45. If we're not on the water, I do 5 o'clock. Um, I know I have to have all my things out and ready. Like there's no way that I can pack anything in the morning and get out the door on time. Like that's just not how it happens. Like I have to wake up, brush my teeth, put on whatever clothes I'm putting on, grab the bag that I've packed, grab my keys and get in the car. Like that's how it has to happen. Otherwise, I won't make it there on time. Um I'm sort of kind of used to the schedule now. Like I think my body's adjusted to 7 hours of sleep. Like usually I would get about 8 hours of sleep. So I'm losing, well, my watch says I should do 7:40, and usually I hit 7:40. Like either I get 7:50 or I get 8. I'm consistently at 7 right now, and I think I've been at 7 hours for the last like month half now because it's I mean because today's the 7th, so like and I started helping them at in the beginning of March, so it is really taking me a solid month to like turn my schedule around, get used to 1 hour less of sleep, and also figure out like when I'm going to work out too because I usually work out in the morning. So the sleep, like for, you know, people who are considering coaching for a college, like the sleep factor is definitely like if you can't get to bed early, like this probably won't work out for you. Like if you're a 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night kind of go to bed person and you're not going to be able to shift forward, you're just going to be in a world of hurting. Like it's not going to be good. Mm. I thought because it was in the morning that I would still get a lot of time with my kids, but I'm finding that like I'm using the 7:30 to 8:30 hour to organize, make sure everybody has a ride where they need to go the next day, you know, prep if I'm going to prep food or whatever it may be, like that's happening during that hour. So I lose an hour of family time. Even though you think like, oh, coaching's not during family time, you're still going to lose about an hour of family time or your evening personal time.
Yeah.
Um, the actual coaching is amazing. Like I love that part, like being with um being with the athletes. They're in college, so it's like they're in like this kind of gray area. They're not like complete grown-ups, but they're not like high schoolers. So they have a level of like responsibility and a level of like they can inter you can interact with them
Hmm.
as an adult, but um they still kind of have like the youthful tendencies will come out every once.
Hmm.
So someone might, try dumping water down someone's shirt or like, or like or fill their water bottle with wrenches or like that kind of thing. Like it's like, they'll still kind of do these things that like as a masters rower you would never really do to each other on the team. Like they'll still kind of do that, but like
Yeah.
but they are for the most part adults. Um
Hmm.
and similar to masters, like you want to make sure that you're explaining and workouts, like make sure that they understand why they're doing the workout. Like that's really helpful. Like that helps them to perform it better. Um, and the captains are very involved with like kind of keeping the team together. Um, the one thing is that they're just so busy.
Yeah.
High schoolers are busy, but like their busyness is kind of like it's scheduled. It's like condensed into
Hmm.
one spot. Where like the college athletes, like everybody's day is completely different.
Hmm.
So there might be a person on the team who doesn't do anything on Tuesdays. Like the only thing they do is go to practice.
Hmm.
And so they're like, yeah, if we can roll in the afternoon, fantastic. And then there'll be people who like every single day is very, very packed. They're taking some type of science and they've got 3 or 4 labs that they go to every day. And there's no way that they could come to the boathouse in the afternoon or no way they could practice any other time than the scheduled practice time.
Hmm.
So that's a little bit different. I think like if it wasn't for the sleep and the like organization that I had to do, like maybe it'd be
Yeah.
something I would want to do more. I
Hmm.
don't know. I'll have to think about it.
Yeah, it's still new. Yeah, yeah.
And it is fun. It would be fun to be able to continue to do it. Like I mean there's a lot of like I think for U of R, I think in the fall they are looking for a full-time assistant because
Okay.
I'm part-time. So
Hmm.
and don't quote me on it. I think that's how it works is what they're looking for. So
Hmm.
so I couldn't be a full-time
Yeah.
assistant. So they might be looking for somebody. So someone's listening and they want to reach out and potentially talk to Coach Ethan about that. Let me know. Um, I believe that's the plan. So they were going to bring someone on part-time in the spring just to kind of as a transition and then bring in a full-time assistant in the fall. Um,
Hmm.
so yeah. So I'm enjoying myself. Like
Good.
like I said, I think the hardest transition was the sleep. Like
Yeah.
I'm kind
Hmm.
of like I'm 47 going on 48. Like, I'm like my
Hmm.
schedule and my body clock is kind of it's relatively rigid. Like it really doesn't like when I get off of my schedule. So that's just been the constant challenge. But I think I have wrapped my mind around it. I wake up and I'm not terribly tired. Like the first couple of weeks, I was just terribly tired and like dragging myself out of the bed. Not doing that anymore. Like I'm actually like moving and getting in the bathroom and doing what I need to do and coming out and grabbing my bags and like not forgetting stuff. So yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's good to hear. It's exciting to see, what's happening and just, hear about your stories. Are you doing anything like are you trying anything with the team in terms of like certain motivations or pep talks or anything like that?
Well, I've been doing well, not necessarily motivation. Like this morning we did dynamic. I was just kind of like talking about gratitude. So like I was trying to use that to kind of like everybody walked in very sleepy. So we were
Hmm.
just trying to like get them to like bring their, wake up and kind of like bring their energy up. And so I was talking about like being grateful for, a healthy body that woke up this morning that, being able to get here and just kind of reminding them because they're so busy and like they're not around their like like their parent group or the people who love them aren't necessarily right there with them. And I was just trying
Hmm.
to remind them, like, you're really loved, like to be in this, to be at a university, to be on a team, to be like, to go to the classes you go to and all that, all those things, like there has to be a concentration of people who really love you. Because otherwise, without that kind of support, you can't do this type of thing. You can't be at a university. You can't be on a rowing team. You wouldn't be able to put all your classes together and actually succeed. So I was like, keep that in mind when things get tough, that there's a lot of love around you that you should be accessing all the time. So we were talking about that today. I've been charged with a lot of just like mobility, like helping them
Hmm.
with mobility work. That's kind of my wheelhouse. So we've kind of developed a dynamic that we do right on the erg. So getting them to do like hamstrings and hip rotators, and we stretch upper neck muscles. We prime the shoulders. We do some trunk rotation. We do an ankle stretch, and we try to do this all seated on the erg because what they were doing is like they would do like a warm up and then they'd flip the ergs up and get down on the ground and do a dynamic. And I'm like, well, there's a lot
Yeah.
of dynamic that you can do with the ergs down, and I feel like that's kind of saved them a little bit of time. And
Okay.
we still hit all the things that they were able to get when they would do dynamic on the ground, but much more functional because we're doing it on the erg and we're doing it for rowing specific things.
Hmm.
So, so that's kind of been how I've been helping. Also, like if someone has an ache and pain, like, they've been coming over and kind of chatting with me and they have access to the trainer. So, I try to, because I'm in my capacity, I'm not a physical therapist for them. So I
Hmm.
to you know, gently screen from a coach's perspective. I might offer a stretch or two, but then I always have them defer to the trainer. And sometimes because I know my PT stuff, I'm kind of like, ask the trainer to do soft tissue to blah, 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 blah. Or ask the trainer to give you, because a lot of time they go to the trainer and they get stim and ice. And I'm like, if they can do a little bit more than that, then,
Hmm.
have them give you an exercise for activating your serratus, or have them give you an exercise for activating your rotator cuff, so you can stay stable at the catch. Like, so I'll give them like a little thing to tell the trainer.
Hmm.
Hopefully they tell them and they go and they get the inform, it's tough. It's interesting. I need to probably do something special for college rowers. Um, a way to interact with me that's not necessarily that's more consult based. Um, I just had someone reach out to me. They're rowing in Buffalo, so for one of the teams in Buffalo, but they live in Syracuse, and they were having some issues as far as some issues in the boat that were causing pain. They had talked to their coach and they had talked to their trainer, and I guess the trainer had asked, "Do you bend your knees while you row?"
Oh boy.
So, so every college team is kind of working with, they might have a trainer who is very knowledgeable about rowing, or
Hmm.
they have a trainer who has no idea whether you're actually bending your knees or to complete the row.
Oh boy.
So,
Okay.
I want to be able, because with college rowers, like I said, they're in that bridge between being an adult and not being an adult. And
Hmm.
in order to like come and work with me, there's the potential that they need information about their insurance, or they need to know whether their parents would want to pay for something like that. And so I want to have something where I can kind of do where I can help and
Hmm.
maybe guide a little bit. Um and so I'm kind of thinking about what that would look like, where a college rower could, um, get on a call with me and ask some questions, and I could give them some solutions and those types of things. Like, because sometimes it's just like changing your boat setup. I've had people who've had like numbness down the leg, and um, I think I've told that story before, where I was like, oh yeah, I was like, have your coach change out the seat because it's
Hmm.
potential that their sit bones are too close together. You're compressing your nerve bundle through your butt every time you pivot over. And she was able to fix that like with just the seat. And her trainer had told her that she should stop rowing
Hmm.
like mid-season. And the athlete can potentially get the wrong advice because the trainer doesn't necessarily know why the issue is happening.
Mhm.
So I want to make sure that I figure out a good way to be a resource for college athletes because the way I have it set up right now, they would need to come in for an evaluation. We'd have to do a plan of care, and I'm finding like that's not necessarily what they need. So stay tuned, college rowers. I will figure out a way to help you guys that makes sense.
Or even like some kind of a session for trainers, it sounds like would be helpful for colleges
Yeah.
that have rowing, sending their trainers to see you or
And a
something.
plug here for Lisa Lowe, who's a PT out in Boston with Champion PT. She has a course already that she has created for trainers, physical therapists, and docs who work with rowers but aren't familiar with rowing. And
Cool. Okay.
I will try to link that her link to her the course. I think the course may be like $150. But it is very complete, and someone who doesn't know rowing would be kind of up to speed after taking it. And it's not a super long course, but it is definitely robust, and you'll definitely feel like you understand rowing much more and treating rowing injuries too, because she kind of goes over the different injuries and how they happen and whether this is like something that a coach should take a look at. Like you should be interacting with the coach and being like, there might be something from a coaching perspective that you need to change for this athlete. So yeah, she has already invented the wheel. So I any chance I get to tell people to take her program and to hand it off to other professionals to learn, that's what I do. So
Good. Yeah. Nice. Well, it sounds like you guys have been on the water. Our team has still not been on the water at all since October.
it's touch and go. Like
Is it?
yeah, like today we didn't go on the water because
Okay.
the flow was 9,800
Hmm.
and I forget what the temp is out today. The temp is like very cold.
Yeah.
Um, so the temp is 28.
Oof, yeah.
So, and it was windy. We are having 37-mile-per-hour winds today. So
Did you get any snow? Because it's like a
we have a
wonderland out
dusting.
there.
Yeah, we have a
Oh,
dusting right now. So
yeah.
today we didn't go out. Yesterday the flow was at 9,000 or like it was like 10,000 heading towards 9,000. The experienced eights went out.
Hmm.
They did their warm up. They did two 12-minute pieces. They did some drills, and then they turned around and they did one 12-minute piece to get back. So it was that fast. Uh,
Yeah.
but I mean, like the water is really flowing. So we went out yesterday, and the day before that was Easter Sunday, and then Saturday was the race.
Hmm.
Friday morning we went out for like because we de-rigged and loaded.
Hmm.
They went out for like a half hour, and that was only the experienced boat because again, the flow was really high. We
Yeah.
didn't go out Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. We went out Monday, and Monday was I forget who I took out on Monday. Maybe it was like a mixed. I think I took out a four on that
Okay.
Monday. So it was slow enough that we could take out a four. It might have been toggling between like 8,000, 7,000 because that's about the boundary of taking a four out. The previous weekend, we didn't go out. We had to be inside on Saturday. I think it was too cold. And then the best week was the week before that. So not this past week, but the week before that, we got out, I think, three times.
Hmm.
It's just like if it's not the flow, it's the air
That,
temperature. Not
yep.
the air temperature,
The
it's the
wind or
wind.
yeah.
Like and so just like we're hoping that the flow will come down more. Like if I check
Yeah.
it right now, like I'm obsessively checking it. Um, what does it say? All right. Because it had, I mean, like back on March 25th, 26th, it was down to 5,000. So that was good stuff.
Hmm.
Then it went back up, like starting the 31st of March. And then, like 31st of March, it was 8,000. April 2nd, it was 15,700. And then
Hmm.
today we're at 8,500, but 8,500 we could have gone out in, but we can't go out with the 38 mile per hour winds plus 25 degrees. So yeah. So we need kind of like all of it to kind of come together. I think we're going to be inside tomorrow. Um, yeah, because the morning temp, like tomorrow's going to be a good day towards the end of the day, so maybe you guys will get a chance to row. It's supposed to be like 51 by the end of the day for us, like so like 4:30 or so, and it's supposed to be sunny. So maybe you guys will get this weather maybe tomorrow. Um,
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, tomorrow, so they were supposed to have 8 to 11 a.m. practices during spring break.
um,
And then, so they had practice yesterday. They did not go in the water. They were in the bay on the sliders. And then today they canceled morning practice and they're going back to the middle school for a 3:30 practice. But I don't know what they're going to do there because all of the stuff was moved to the boathouse. So I don't, that's a big question mark. Because our boathouse, like the Burn Hill side is heated, but the Shen side is just a boathouse, like you've described before, like it's not heated. There's a exercise bay that's just, a room. Um, and when it's that cold, it's just no fun to be in there. So I think just for the amount of people, they're probably just going to do, I don't know, some kind of indoor calisthenics, or I have no idea. Tomorrow maybe, but if they moved practice to afternoon, it would probably be better. And then Thursday, I think is supposed to be nice. Hannah has something on Thursday morning, so she can't go, unfortunately. So maybe she'll get on the water on Friday. We'll
okay.
see. But yeah, I feel the kids are just, I mean, the coaches obviously are making the right calls. It's just the weather is just not cooperating, and it's the kids are just ready. They are so ready to be on the water. They can't wait. And they're getting like every day is like, oh, I can't believe I can't go on the water again. And today it's just a winter wonderland out there. It's like everything's covered in white. So,
Um,
yeah, we'll get there. But
well,
hey, I do have to say, I make the official because she made it official that Hannah will be going to Washington College in the fall. And every time she gets frustrated with not being on the water, she's like, "Oh, I'm so glad I chose to go to school more south of here so she could be on the water longer." So she's very excited.
excited for her. Yay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sure. Oh my goodness. Coach Carrie's gonna be so excited. Yay.
Yes, she sent a very nice message to her when Hannah sent her an email telling her that she was definitely enrolling there. And she's already gotten connected with the other like incoming freshmen, and so yeah, yeah. So very excited. They have a accepted student day this Saturday. Unfortunately, like, we have like a million things going on, and one of them is work for me. I have accepted student day for the college I work for.
Yeah.
Um, I was looking at ways I could get out of that, but in the grand scheme of things, Chris is also going to be in New Hampshire for his pipe band. And then it was just going to be like either Keegan would have to be home alone with the dog overnight, which he could probably do, but um, there was something else. She has practice also on Saturday. And so, yeah, you can miss a practice, but when it might be like the only practice on the water, I mean, who knows? But yeah, and they have a scrimmage next Saturday. So,
Where are they going?
um,
Is it a home
it's
scrimmage?
just home. As far as I know, I don't know if it's official, but I think they were in the works to try to make a Burn Hills and Shaker scrimmage happen for the 18th.
Okay.
So
And
fingers
I'll be
crossed.
there.
You'll
I'll
be here?
I'll be around you guys because
Oh,
that's
that's right.
College States, right?
That's, oh my gosh, yes. Oh, so you are coming out for that.
We are coming up. Yep. So
Okay,
yeah, we don't have anything this weekend, but next week
great.
is yeah, States. So I'll be there for
Oh my gosh.
yeah,
Okay.
correct.
And it's Saturday only?
I think it's Saturday only because
Okay.
somebody had said to me that like their schedule, the college level schedule has gotten a little bit more condensed because there's other teams go other places. Not all not all the Division 1 teams from not Rochester but from New York come to the States one. So, but yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be good. So. everybody's excited, and I think that the team is in a good trajectory right now. Like they're ready to race. So
Cool.
yeah, and after doing so well at Ithaca and kind of being able, like, we can compete, like, let's get out
Yeah.
there and do it. So I think the teams, from a mental standpoint, I think they're in a good headspace. Like they're feeling strong, they're moving well. And we just told them stay healthy. Like, take care of yourself, eat well, stretch. If you have a problem, go see the trainer, all that good stuff. So
Cool. So, I'm assuming if it's one day, it's going to be all day.
yeah, it's gonna
So
be all day. I'll be
after,
there all day. Yeah. So
all right, after the scrimmage, maybe Hannah and I'll, or maybe Keegan too, we'll head up and go watch you guys race and we'll go see Matt. So I'm assuming Canisius will be there. I did forget in the last episode to make note of they did a great job with Hannah's visit too. The reason why I forgot was because Chris took them, so it wasn't like as fresh in my mind. But
yeah,
I did want to mention that she had an amazing visit there, and Coach Matt is awesome. So if anybody's looking for a D1 in New York State, um, I think they have a really great thing going on out there at Canisius. So keep an eye on them.
very cool.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I'm excited. Like it'll be good to see everybody and see all the schools and yeah, talk to all the other coaches,
Mhm.
you know, kind of
Did
get
you
the lay of the land.
did you get a chance to talk to the coaches at the race this past weekend?
A little bit. Like
Yeah.
I introduced myself to a couple different people and like I was just kind of getting my sea legs again for like
Mhm.
being at a race and like what do I need to do like in my head I have like so I always like to print out the schedule so that I have
Mhm.
like the race times. Usually I take the race times and I put the launch time next to it so that I know who needs to be where when. But I was just I was so focused on just like making sure that I was doing what I need to do that I didn't get a chance to like in the down times, I was just kind of like standing there staring at the water.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, okay, get moving again, get moving again. So like during that downtime, especially at States, I want to make sure that I go and just, chat with everybody and learn the lay of the land, learn who's coaching what now,
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be good stuff.
Well, I hope by April 18th it's very nice out and get nice weather
I hope so
and
too.
no flooding. Oh my gosh, the Fish Creek just flooded so bad last year, so hopefully that doesn't happen this year.
Yeah, because like I think I saw pictures of it. It was just like
So crazy. Yeah.
underwater, like like the cement stuff that's kind of out, right? Was like
Yeah.
beneath the water, right? So
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy. I will try and see if I can get you a preview going into it to just give you an idea
okay, okay.
if there's any flooding or mud or anything like that. Because I think there was supposed to be quite a bit of rain in this upcoming week, so we'll see, but hopefully not.
So when you guys scrimmage,
Yep.
is it a different area than where the states will happen? Like I know it's a silly.
Hmm. Yeah,
You guys will
yeah.
scrimmage at your own boathouse, right?
It'll probably be at the Burnt Hills Boathouse. Yeah. Burnt Hills / Shen. That's where we are. I mean, and I don't know, maybe they asked Niskayuna too. So so Burnt Hills and Chen high schools, we row out of one boathouse.
Mhm.
And then just a little bit downriver from there is where Niskayuna rows, Niskayuna High School. And then I'm not exactly sure where Mohawk rowing rows out of, but they used to be just a little bit further downstream from Niskayuna. So it's like a homeschool, Mohawk homeschool group. They compete at New York State's. And then Shaker in Albany Rowing Center row out of almost like downtown Albany. So Shaker being a high school scholastic team, ARC being, like a club team with different people from different schools. And then there's Augustine Classical Academy, which is a Christian high school that Matt Hopkins, who was a very beloved coach for this area and for a bunch of different teams, actually founded. I don't think he founded Niskayuna, but he was definitely one of the Niskayuna's earlier coaches. He rowed for Union
Uh,
College and then I think he founded Mohawk Rowing Club and Augustine, he founded the school. So he started that school and the rowing club that goes with it. But he passed away a few years ago. But he has like a whole family of rowers. I think he has 10 kids
Oh,
that
wow.
are all like the youngest might still be maybe in high school. Um, maybe in middle school. I'm not even sure. And then some that are grown adults and coaching and different teams and everything, but they're all redheads. So they were like this like highlighted group in the Head of the Charles I think last year or 2 years ago, where they did like a whole boat and in memory of their dad, which is really sweet. So that was a little bit of a Hopkins tangent, but anyway, like there's some teams here that are really connected to him and his family. I think that might be it for like other than Saratoga. So Saratoga is up in there, like where Fish Creek is. And then they've got like different versions of Saratoga. So there's like, like the Orion group, which is the elite
Performance.
rowers. And then they have the Masters, and then they have Saratoga Rowing Association. So I think that's pretty much what the youth row under, the juniors program.
Yeah.
I don't think they might actually boat scholastic boats, meaning like they may actually either I don't know if it's by chance or by in purpose. They sometimes will have a boat that's all Saratoga High School,
Oh,
and then they compete, and then they can like that's a part about New York State's at high school level is so confusing
oh yeah.
that
You don't know
what
whether you won or qualified
I
or
have no
yeah.
idea.
Yeah, it's like every like a race of eight, like everybody could get some type of title in that race, depending on who's in it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I was looking at the like the entry form and the registration for states. And it does outline the progression and like who qualifies for each event, but it's all different. It's like the youth nationals, SRAs, it's different amounts for different levels, for different size boats.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting.
SRAs, are they? I thought, are they in Philly this year or something? Like, aren't they in a different spot than they usually are? They're
Yeah, I think they do bounce around a little bit. I think it was a few years ago they were in Oak Ridge and they're back at Oak Ridge this year.
Oh yeah, that's right. We had talked
Tennessee.
about that. Tennessee,
Hmm.
which is I've learned that Oak Ridge is very close to my cousin's house. So I'm like, maybe we'll
Yeah.
go there and hang out. Who knows? Who
Who
knows? But
knows?
yeah. So
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited about states. I think it's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. It'll be interesting to see the college version of it.
Hmm.
Because I'm very familiar with the juniors version. So it'll be interesting to see how it all shakes out from the college perspective. So
So for your team, is it going to be the same type of boats that will race every race? So it sounds look at first varsity, second varsity, and a four.
I think so. It'll all
Yeah.
depend on some of the seniors have like because I mean people just have schedule conflicts. Like
Hmm.
that's kind of a big thing. I think there's a maybe a couple people who have some type of schedule conflict and are not going to state. So
Oh,
they
okay.
expect like the setup as far as like 1V, 2V and the
Hmm.
four. So we'll just have to see. We'll have to see
Hmm.
who's available and who's healthy. And we have a couple of athletes who are kind of injured at this point. So we'll have to see if they're going to be back in time. Yeah, it's just, yeah, it's kind of all up in the air, especially with not getting on the water too. Like it's hard to really, like we'd kind of set some boats, did some seat racing when we were in Clemson. And
Hmm.
so, but it's a month later.
Yeah.
So ideally, like in a perfect world, we would be out there this week in fours and pairs and doing like a matrix of some
Hmm.
sort and just kind of making sure that we still have the people who are on that trajectory are still on that trajectory. No one's stagnated and somebody else is kind of like gone ahead of them and they should really be in the 1V versus somebody else. So yeah, it's just kind of like we have to kind of figure that out, but it's hard to do when the flow's like 1,000 billion, it's like you can't do seat racing because it's not fair and the flow
Hmm.
changes every day and the wind and the cold and yeah. So we need like some nice calmer days where the river's slower so we can actually do some work and figure it out. So yeah.
Yeah. What about novice? Are there any novice events anymore, or are they
We
empty?
have four novices. Well, we have. We have quite a few novices kind of sprinkled through the team. Like
Hmm.
there's I think for the spring there's only one true novice. Like
Okay.
who's starting fresh. This is her first season.
Hmm.
We have some people who are novices in the fall who will also be novices right now. So I think we have two of those. We have some two sport people, like some people who are swimmers, and they've just picked up rowing.
Okay.
So they're novices, but those darn swimmers, they're VO2 max. They're just really like they're very, very like endurance based. They're very like, they hold their breath most of the time when they exercise. So when they do anything where they can really not have to hold their breath, they're actually pretty fast people. So so some of those swimmers have been have kind of rocketed as far as speed. Just an example, the one swimmer, this was her second 2K, and
Hmm.
she got a 7:25.
Oh, I know.
She's
Oh
been
my gosh.
she's been rowing for I think it's 5 weeks.
Wow.
Wrote a 7:25, and then we redid the 2K because they actually did the 2K, took a
Oh
break,
yeah.
did a bunch of
Yeah.
stuff, and then redid it. The second 2K, I think she got like a 7:40 something. Like,
Hmm. Yeah. So then she's like, wow, that was really hard. And then she's experiencing everything else every other rower experiences, which is, oh my gosh, can I do this? It's almost like the unknown is what's her
it was
benefit for the
great.
first one?
Those two swimmers were kind of chatting with each other,
Mm.
and like they came off the water from Ithaca, the race, and they're like, "That was so fun!" And they were like, "Yeah." It's like, the one swimmer's like, "I don't know, like I don't know if I'll go back to swimming," and like the one was like,
Oh,
"Yeah." Well, the one has been like kind of been doing both, and what she said was, um, she says rowing's fun because there's not so much history.
mm,
And I was like, I hadn't thought about it that way, that like she's been swimming since I don't know, maybe six or seven. So she's been swimming for a very long time, and there's a lot of history involved with it. And so there's like a lot of like the same way like someone who starts rowing in middle school, there's just so much history to it, so you get in your head about it.
oh
But
yeah, yeah.
with but with rowing, she can be that much more freer with it
Mhm.
and really enjoy it and be surprised by how fit she is because she doesn't have all this history like in the background.
Yeah.
So like she's like just when rowing kind of gets to be too much and you're kind of in your head about it, she's like we go back to swimming.
Mhm.
But she's like, and the one girl was like, oh yeah, I guess that makes sense. She's like, okay, so this is just, we'll get out here and we'll enjoy it and then we'll go back to swimming in the fall. Or I think swimming like starts winter, goes with like fallish winter through like basically March. So they spend a lot of time swimming. So, but yeah, it's definitely good for the erg scores.
Yeah.
All that holding your breath and exercising at the same time. Yeah.
I should say that. I should mention that to Shelby. Maybe they can get some pool time next winter. Break
Oh,
things up a little bit.
that would be fun.
Yeah.
The only problem is like a lot of the swim teams are, well, not the
Yeah.
boys, like our high school boys practice in the winter. Our high school girls
Yes.
are fall. So,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
there might be pool time. Like, that would be really cool. A little cross train and then some recruiting too. Get in there while the swimmers are in there and be like, when swim's over, why don't you come row? It'll be good for your swimming. So,
Maybe, yeah, maybe they can just join practices. They can say, "Hey, we're gonna do the rowers are gonna do the swim practice today, and and the swimmers are gonna do the." And I have a feeling I know which group's gonna do better at the other sport. I mean, once they get the hang of the stroke, right?
yeah.
But yeah, but now that all ninth graders are gonna be trained in the erg stroke, then they have an edge to that, so that'll be cool.
Yeah.
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 Very cool stuff. Oh my goodness. I'm looking at
Yeah. Getting
I will
away
let
from
you
ourselves.
go. We're gonna have a guest next week, right?
Yes, that's the plan. Yep. So we'll have our head coach, Shelby, will join us. So it'll be good to get to know her a little bit.
Get to know her background and all the
Yep.
good stuff. And then I'm gonna continue to work on some people and I've been talking to a bunch of people and now we just need to kind of gather them together and get them on the schedule so we can have a chat with them.
Sounds good. All right.
Happy rowing, everybody. Have a great week, and thanks for listening. And if you want to be on the show, shoot us a message, and we'll get you on here. Tell us your rowing story.
All right. Take care. Bye.